This chapter directly continues from the previous chapter. Please ensure you follow the web series chronologically. All the links will be provided in the description below. Thank you.
The House of Kuru, Part 1, Chapter 14, The Pains of a Mother. O mighty sage, first hear my tale of woe, and then hear my request. Only you can comfort me at this time, wailed the queen. My dearly wedded husband departed me within a decade of my marriage to him, and if this was not painful enough, my firstborn son passed away in a battle against a rogue Gandharva. The pain did not stop there. My last son, through the pain of slow death, gave his life to consumption, a wicked disease inflicted on the lower class of society. They say the greatest grief a mother undergoes is to see the death of her children. I have seen the death of my husband, my firstborn, and now I have lost even my son. What have I done to deserve this, my son? I have treaded the path of virtue very, very carefully, have I not? Why then do I see such pain? Cried the sad Sathyavati. The great seer, the best amongst men, the wise Veda Vyasa listened patiently and comforted his mother with sweet words of assurance. Unfortunately, the sad Sathyavati would not be consoled. Self-pity overcame her. Fate has been exceptionally cruel to the house of Kuru, the noble house of Kuru. Great is our ancestry, great are our feats, yet death constantly stalks our every move. She cried and cried. Finally, the wise son of Parashara, the sage Veda Vyasa, spoke in a soft but stern voice. The law of karma is just. Brutal but just, dear queen. Oh, what brutality has the noble house of Kuru inflicted on anyone, quipped the queen Satyavati. The sins of the father must be borne by the child, dear queen. Do not forget the sins of the father. I do not understand. Our ancestry is pure. It is sinless, protested the queen Satyavati. Oh, but it is not the sin of the Kuru lineage, isn't it? Veda Vyasa asked shrewdly. Satyavati still did not seem to comprehend. Dear queen, what do you think would be the consequences when you request the crown prince to give up his throne and force him to take a vow of chastity in a land where many men marry more than one wife? Asked Veda Vyasa. The light finally dawned on Satyavati. Was it truly fair for her father to ask the crown prince to absolve his lineage? Was it virtuous to completely annihilate the race of Ganga? Satyavati was gobsmacked. She held her heart in her chest and sat down on the floor. All this time she took Bhishma's sacrifice for granted. She never realized that it cost the end of the house of his lineage. Bhishma held her hand softly. Do not worry, mother. This is my desire, and it is my want. I did this willingly. It brings me great pleasure to serve my father. Take no guilt in this, for you are not in sin, said Bhishma, gently lifting her up. My son, my dearest son, what has my father asked of you? Indeed, he was a cruel man, said Satyavati. Do not speak ill of your elders, mother, corrected Bhishma. He did what he thought best for his house, and now his house has vanished. No one to continue his lineage, Satyavati finished his sentence. That may not be true, mother, said Bhishma. gently nodding towards the great Veda Vyasa. My son, I called upon you here for a request, for a reason. As you know, the house of Kuru is in danger of extinction. I beseech thee, O mighty son of Parashara, compiler of the Holy Veda, the author of the Puranas, I implore thee to perform Niyoga. Bring back the life to the house of Kuru, implored the mother of Veda Vyasa. Dear mother, what you are asking is a high request. I have taken to a life of chastity and strict vows. You are requesting a great feat of me, dear queen, protested the mind-born son of Parashara. Listen to me, my son. Only you can save the house of Kuru. Without your assistance, this house is doomed. Once the house is gone, wolves, vultures, and jackals will prey upon the innocent. Every kingdom needs a powerful king. The guardian of this house is Bhishma, and he has refused any filial affections despite my protestation. The entire land is in your hand. Do not stave off a request from your mother. The act of Niyoga is in perfect line with virtue and righteousness. Why, in times like these, it is the path of virtue, the path of righteousness. Your seed will give birth to strong sons in the kingdom. Please, my son, listen to my request. Help the house of Kuru, protested the wily Satyavati. With a deep sigh, the sage Vyasa spoke. As you insist, my dear mother, I will assist you with the expansion of the Kuru clan. However, I need 1 year to make myself ready, as I am not presentable to the queens of Hastinapura. Give me 1 year and I shall arrive here to assist with the practice of Niyoga, said the wise Vyasa. No, that is too long. No, my son, I insist. You must get ready within the morning, insisted Satyavati. And the great Vyasa sighed once more and complied with the arduous task of his mother. How dare you pawn us off as harlots? Roared Ambika. This is the house of Kuru, the great house which mongers in harlotry? Screamed Ambalika. We will not even dream of such a practice, you old witch. First you marry us to a dead man stricken with consumption, and now you wish for us to lay with a monk, a sage? You name this virtue? Argued the second daughter of Kashi, Ambika. What cruelty have we beset on the world to endure this fate? She wailed to her sister Ambalika. The greatness of a woman is not in her ability to question the status quo, but to produce meaningful heirs to the house where she is married. In this case, to the throne of Hastinapura, scolded Satyavati. There is no indecency in this. The action you are performing is purely for the continuation of the race of the Kurus. Do you not know how great the seer Veda Vyasa is? Have you not heard of his achievements? Have you not known what a seer he is? He has complete control of the senses. Think of the son born from his seed. Imagine the prowess he would command. Do not forget, without sons you will remain destitutes. Do you not know what happened to your sister Amba? No king in the land was willing to marry her. If word gets out that Vichitravirya died within a few months of your matrimony, you will be seen as cursed in the realm. I am giving you an opportunity to become a mother. There is no greater glory than motherhood. The mother of the crown prince of the realm, said Satyavati. Her word made sense to the widows. After all, they are no longer married. This would mean that the continuation of their race and their widowhood would be more bearable. As the widows were mulling over the arguments presented by the queen, she spoke again. So it is agreed. We will look for an auspicious date, and the sage will perform Niyoga, by which you shall mother children, said the queen. There was a strong finality in her tone that the widows no longer protested. On an auspicious date set by the astrologers in the land, the second daughter of Kashi, Ambika, was brought to the marriage chamber. She was waiting in the room when the sage Veda Vyasa arrived. The seer was not properly groomed. He had long, unkempt hair, and his beard was knotted and spiky. He had an unsightly look about him, and the princess could not bear to see him, and hence she closed her eyes in disdain. The sage Veda Vyasa touched her forehead and mentioned, "Hear my prophecy, daughter of Kasi. You will birth a son who will have the prowess of 1,000 elephants, and his strength will continue to grow. But as you blinded yourself when you saw me, so too will your son be blind throughout his life." The prophecy was too much for Satyavati to bear, and she insisted on Vyasa to address the bread chamber of Ambalika immediately. As soon as the sage entered into the room of Ambalika, Ambalika grew pale in terror, and her whole body froze in tremendous fear. The sage used his mystical prowess, touched her forehead, and mentioned, "Your son will be valorous and powerful, with shoulders covering doorways. He will bring glory to the Kuru lineage. But as blood left your face upon my arrival, as you turned pale white upon my descent into your bedchamber, so too your son will be born with a lack of pigment. He will be pale white all over his body." Ambalika realized that the ordeal was over, and she just had her forehead touched by the sage. Satyavati was still concerned about the firstborn being blind and insisted Ambika re-enter the chamber and redo the process, hoping that the initial prophecy could be revoked. Ambika, however, had other plans. There was a chambermaid in the same room as her, and she commanded the chambermaid to go in her stead. The maid, known as Parishrami, agreed wholeheartedly and waited for the great seer's arrival. As soon as Veda Vyasa arrived, she leapt up from the bread chamber and rushed to serve him with fruits and milk. Then she pressed his legs as he munched on the fruits. After he drank the milk, he was very pleased with her servitude, that he blessed her and said, "You will bring forth a great spiritual and legendary statesman. Your son will bring renown to the land and cause prosperity to everyone around him. He will be a great devotee of the mighty god Mahavishnu. I also confer upon you that your son will bring glory to the house of Kuru, and he will be endowed with virtue. You will be ever happy with this child." And he touched her forehead lightly. As he reached out of the bedchamber, Satyavati was waiting for him. Before he could speak, the seer silenced her. "Niyoga can only be performed 3 times, mother. Please, do not ask me to release my spiritual energies once more. You shall have 3 children who will certainly continue the race of the Kurus along with my blessing," said the Vyasa sage. And before Satyavati could bow to the great sage, he spoke once more. "Please, do not bow before me. You are my mother and the source of my life. It is ill for you to do so. I accept your humility and I am pleased with it. Now go forth. The house of Kuru shall hear the cry and laughter of toddlers within the year." So saying, the mystical Veda Vyasa disappeared into thin air. The very next day, 3 women fell pregnant. The women were looked after like jewels in a poor miser's house, doted upon by the mighty Bhishma and the queen Satyavati in every sense. After all, the future of the Kuru clan rests in the womb of the 2 queens and the maidservant named Parishrami.
I hope you liked today's episode of The House of Kuru. If you have not already, please subscribe to this channel and like this video so that you will be notified every time a new video is uploaded. Thank you.